Welcome back to another edition of The Drive. I am Geoff Fienberg. With me is Andy Lack. We're in Florida. As I've joked a couple times, Andy, it is spin the wheel of losers week potentially at the Honda. That's not a shot at anyone. There's just this mid-range of golfers that sometimes I can't resist. So it'll be tough for me to land on who it's going to be for me. But I absolutely love PGA National and what it brings, and it feels like we got a stronger field than the last few years.
Absolutely. Well, just right off the top, this is the first time we've seen Rory at this event since I want to say 2019, maybe 2018. Um, Cameron Young, Tom Kim, Matt Fitzpatrick. I definitely think that there's been a bit of a bump for this event this year. I'm not sure I totally know why based on the schedule, because right after this, we have um, a signature event in the Arnold Palmer Invitational, followed up by the Players Championship. So it looks like Rory is going to be playing, and all the other great players in the field are going to be playing 3 weeks in a row, which is a bit of a different Masters prep than we've seen from Rory in years past. But I've always wondered why this event can't get a better field, given the fact that, gosh, there's probably 50 guys in this field, maybe more, that are sleeping in their own bed. I mean, the Jupiter, I was just talking about this with somebody who plays golf with a lot of the Vegas guys. Jupiter, Palm Beach, Florida, for PGA Tour pros is still number one by a mile. So I'm glad to see some of them are making like the 10-minute drive over to Palm Beach Gardens this week.
Yeah, not enough, and too many of them I think also went over to live, unfortunately. But yeah, there's a great contingent of them out in Palm Beach. I love Palm Beach. I'm
Me
usually
too.
around Palm Beach this time of year for this event. I'll be there in a few weeks. Nothing to get too excited about. I'm traveling with 3 kids, so don't be jealous. Do not be jealous. But I love it here. As I mentioned, I love the course. Love it for a PGA Tour event. Rory, and as for the field, I want to say Mexico wasn't the week before this in the past. I feel like it was after it. And the Cognizant, as I believe it's called, although when you're the oldest serving name on tour, Andy, 40 years plus, it's like all of us with those stadiums that we grew up that our dads took us to. We don't call them the corporate names. I'm here in
No,
Toronto. It's still Skydome to me. Doesn't matter
yeah,
how many years ago they changed the
yeah.
name. So
I'm not even calling crypto like it's the Staples Center.
yeah,
Come on.
exactly. It 100%. So I like Cognizant even locally, because I know a lot of people down there. They've been messaging me if I know I can get them tickets. They're all asking for tickets to the Honda. They only know it as the Honda. So it'll
Yeah.
take more than a couple years of a new name until maybe people stop calling it the Honda. Anyway, let's do it. Rory or anyone else. Rory at the top, plus 750 on that odds checker grid. I'll tell you, the PGA Tour could certainly use its stars being stars. It's nice that it's been this cavalcade of long shots, but stars got to be stars at some point this year, Andy. Maybe this is the year. It's fun. Congrats to anybody who hit a 29-year-old rookie at 40 to 1. I'll swing and miss on my own guy. That was right over my head, but congrats to everybody. But will the star be a star this week, Andy?
Not quite yet. I like Rory. You know how much I love
I
Rory
do.
week in and week out. This is just a really high variance course, Geoff, as I think you've alluded to
Carnage
at the
is the
top.
word.
There's water on 15 of 18 holes. And the thing about Rory is that his best is up there with anyone's best in the entire world, but he doesn't have the high floor necessarily that Scotty Scheffler does. I mean, we just saw him finish 66 out of 74 players at Pebble Beach, right? And I think
So you're saying there's
the
no like C game that can hold on at a place like this if it's not going well, and you'll have to hold on and avoid the carnage. Clearly,
right. Well, I'm just saying Rory having two blow up holes is so high in the range of outcomes that I struggle to justify. If we were on a course that was really hard and narrow and difficult and driver heavy, like Torrey Pines maybe, or Riviera Memorial, where Rory doesn't have the ability to make a huge number the way that he would at the Honda, I would have more interest in Rory. Now, with that being said, um, the next tier, I think you can make some pretty good arguments. And gosh, the Cameron Young thing, you just see like every time a random, I don't want to call Jake Knapp random, but it's his 8th PGA Tour start. Geoff, up until like 5 p.m. Eastern yesterday, I thought he was 22. Jake Knapp's 29.
That's what I
Like
said. I don't bet on
what has this guy
29-year-old
been, what has
rookies.
this guy been doing for the
I
last
don't bet on
decade?
29-year-old rookies. Credit to a lot of our friends, my partner in crime, Pat Mayo included. But you're telling me you're betting Jake Knapp? If like I'm a sucker for the 20-year-old top prospect who's
Right.
like way shorter than he should be on an odds board. But I can't. I just wasn't there. But yeah,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, I've been thinking about it a bit. 29-year-old rookie, all the credit to the world. It's another great story. It's another great story. And there
Yeah.
weren't really any stars in Mexico, but PGA Tour could use its stars to be its stars. I love Cameron Young. I love everything about
That's what
Cameron
I was
Young.
going to say, is like, how many of these guys need to come around till we get that first elusive victory for Cameron Young? Guys
Listen,
finished top 3 at 5, I think he's finished top 5 now at every single major, or top 7 with the Masters. I like this golf course for him a lot. I do. He's been sneaky good on Bermuda, sneaky good on club down golf courses. I haven't made that move yet, but I will say I have some interest in him at 22-1.
yeah, 22-1 at the enhanced win only. I saw over at Bet365, a couple extra points at
There's a
24.
boost. Did you
I'm
see
an
that?
Oh yeah, I saw they'd some boost with the each way, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I need someone smarter like you to tell me if that makes sense for the math. Because part of me would rather just double down on the win because that's
Sure.
how I
That's
like to
fair.
bet. But I'm a Cameron Young apologist. But look at me, I'm the guy. There's Justin Herbert helmet behind me, so I'm an apologist for a great talent who can't seem to crack a moment. Okay, Andy, but you mentioned it with Rory, the variance, the carnage.
Hmm.
Part of that makes me think maybe investing in no one short here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Just throw a handful. I don't have that willpower, but I've thought about really just avoiding all top guys in general this week because of the variance, because of the carnage that can come here and take your chance. But we've mentioned Cam Young. Obviously, I don't even know how to discuss Ben Ann with the steam. I've seen it as low as 22-1. Started this morning at 40-1. So I mean, it's almost like debating a completely different player from the player I debated doing content at 10 a.m. on Monday. Like
Right.
it's the conversation's not even the same.
It's changed
Patrick's
completely. Yeah.
Fitzpatrick's not playing great, but it seemed like for ceiling Fitzpatrick, it seems like a very fair number on a course that should suit him. And all the while, there's players like Russell Henley and JT Poston who could be simply perfect for a place like this. But I'm a sucker for Tom Kim. Of all those guys, it could be Tom Kim who gets my money. Andy, he's never played here before. I don't want that to deter me. I just think this is this exact sort of place where I believe if he makes this event a consistent part of his future, he will win this event.
Yeah. Very fair. I think this is on paper a great golf course for Tom Kim. I worry a little bit about the fact that he's never played it before. Now, you can come into PGA National and have success on your first appearance. It's not particularly a golf course with necessarily the stickiest course history because of that variance. It's far more a course about execution, right? Are you able to keep the ball in play and strike your middle irons well, than it is about necessarily experience and know-how and nuance. Um, the one guy you didn't mention, or two guys you didn't mention who are in consideration for me, like I've only made 2 bets, Geoff, 50-1 and 45-1. So I've got room, I've got options. There's probably going to be 2 guys in the 30 to 25 range. It's going to be Young, maybe. It's going to be Henley, maybe. If not those 2 guys, it will be Eric Cole and Shane Lowry.
Yeah.
are two guys you haven't mentioned
Embarrassing
yet
if I didn't mention them.
that I have a ton of interest
Okay.
in. Well, but like you, it's like this range, it's such a grab bag of guys we love, Geoff. Like Chris Kirk, defending champion, 40-1, first in my model. Corey Connors, 40-1. We love ourselves some Corey Connors on a golf course that
Yeah.
emphasizes driving accuracy and
The
middle
whole
iron play.
list.
Sun
Daniel.
JM, he's like the king of Florida. He's won here in the past. Now we're hanging 35s to him, which I think is a fair number on Sanjay now.
Yeah, but
So
here's the thing about Sungjae. If you want to invest in Sungjae, Andy, I've looked at it. You go break down where he's been in horrible ball striking runs in the past, he pops out of it with like 7 strokes gained.
yeah,
So, like,
just
when he pops, he's gonna pop. So if you want to play it to the ceiling on a course that, good Sungjae should work in, but you can go on and on. Daniel Berger, the way he was striking it in California, Andy, coming home to a place where he's lost in a playoff, had a 4-stroke lead on a Sunday. I bet Steven Yager, I believe, for the first time ever last week. And part
I
of me
like
is
that.
like,
I like him this week too.
okay, part of me is like, well, this is something I don't want to get used to because he's a bit of a tease. And I know he can never actually win last week with how far out the two guys, first and second, were. But if this is going to play to the historical winning score, and I know last year I want to say it got a little higher, then Steven Yager seems like he's absolutely perfect for here. And we haven't even gotten to 50. So I could literally, like, you could make me a wheel, I could spin it with about everyone from 30 to 50, and whoever it lands on, okay, I'll bet them. Like, I'll feel no different than whoever else. I mean it. I don't know what to do. I love this event, and a disciplined, somewhat like responsibly, part of me says I should tread lightly because of the carnage, though. But I don't know if I can resist, Andy, responsibly.
Yeah. Like I said, there's so many options in this range. If I had to give my favorites, I would say Young, Henley, Cole, Lowry, Jaeger. Again, those 5.
Okay, so
Once
I'll
we
do
get a
that.
little
Young Tom Kim, like Connors, Berger.
Okay, so we're including Burger. So I bet
Yeah.
Burger at 45.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I sort of just meant up until like 50. So I gotta cut
Yeah,
down my list. I gotta figure it out. But yeah, Tom Kim, Cam Young, Corey Connors, Shane Lowry, Steven Yeager, Daniel Berger. Now I'm just like listing names, which feels like it's unfair to the people listening, but I'm a mess.
right.
I'm a pretzel at the moment, folks.
Yeah, I mean, just a quick note on Burger. It feels very whiffs of Zalatoris at Riviera, where I'm not quite sure he's ready to win on his 4th start back from a major layoff, but he showed us some serious signs of life from a ball striking
But I think
perspective
it's
in
baked into
Phoenix,
the
and
number
it's
too.
baked into the number. Exactly, Geoff. And just like Zalatoris, it's like, okay, show us some signs of life on a good golf course for you, and now return to your favorite golf course. And this is Daniel Berger's favorite golf course. He's been tremendous at PGA National. He's been tremendous in the Southeast. He's been tremendous on these Bermuda, Southeastern, water heavy, middle iron, driving accuracy courses. He's also won twice at TPC Southwind. He's been good at TPC Sawgrass. So, like, is it too early for the Daniel Berger comeback? Maybe, but these are the golf courses you want to bet him on, Geoff.
I would agree with all of that, Andy. And then you cross 50, and the way Luke List has played this year, if he's a
Sure.
real guy right now, that seems like a totally legit play to make. People I respect loving Svensson at 55, just past a hole.
Count me in on that, man.
Yeah, yeah, but
I'm all in on this.
we just listed like 10 guys who we love. I don't know where am I gonna put a Svensson? And I like Norin, who's I've seen get as high as 60 to 1 today. It's like the last event you want to be overexposed at, but I swear to God, I'm trending in that direction, Andy. But it's the event where you're going to wake up on the West Coast without even sleeping in, and a couple guys on your betting card have already ballooned their way out of it.
Totally. I just a quick note on Svensson. Yeah, count me in on one of those Svensson believers. I've been super high on this guy all
You're
year.
gonna
My
bet on this
numbers,
week?
yeah, I bet him at
Okay.
55 to 1. My
I
numbers
want
continue to
to.
love
I am
Svensson.
also looking. You know, I'm looking to fade Jake Knapp in a matchup. I don't know who to
Yeah,
give me, but that guy was shotgunning beers. You know, he's living. He might withdraw, like getting into signature events. I don't know. You might want to like keep the pure run alive, just tee it up, hung over. But I get the impression he's going to be hung over for 2.5 days. So any of these guys around him in the betting range, if they give me a fair head to head, I might look to pick on them.
yep.
After ranting, I don't bet on 29-year-old rookies. Well, the week after they win, I look to pick on them also, so they can cost me more, I guess.
Yeah, not to mention the change in course fit. Like Jake Knapp
But
was
that two-way
spraying
miss
it.
on Sunday, I mean, whatever. He
Yeah,
built the cushion. I'm not. What a great story. If it looks like I'm diminishing it, no, I'm just like I can't even feel bad about not hitting the bet because I was never making the bet. The only ones
right.
I feel bad about, Andy, are the ones like I almost make. There's no loss of peace of mind for me when he wins.
Totally. So yeah, I mean, I've told you my two bets, Fence and Burger. I have so many options. There are some insane numbers, like just some wild misprices out there that I have had a lot of interest in. I don't even know if I'd count this on my betting card really, but if you don't throw $10 on Parker Cootie at 500 to 1, that's like the most incorrect price. Parker Cootie might be a real guy. He finished 24th last week in Mexico. He was good at Torrey
500
Pines
to
as
1.
well. He's a great fan duel. He's a great ball striker. Like that, me and my friend Kyle were joking about it this morning. That may be the biggest mistake that FanDuel ever makes. Like this kid has every bit of what Jake Knapp does from a ball striking perspective. He's a real guy. So, you
Yeah, using
know,
that odds checker grid, I'm seeing 500 to 1, seeing as low as 300 to 1. So
yeah,
okay, Parker and throwing a haymaker. We've seen huge bombs get to the finish line here. Eric Cole last year just missing out. Daniel Berger as a rookie losing in a playoff over 100 to 1. 500, I mean that would just fit right in. I'd say if you can play that with placings, maybe that's something you look to do, but not every
sure,
book offers that. That's not available to everybody. I'm just saying, like, what an each way would pay on a even if he can cash it out. I
sure.
don't know.
There were
Andy, who
Dill
else though?
last
Because there's more bombs. There's more bombs
yeah,
to be
yeah,
had. I could let like Justin Suh, who struck it
sure.
beautifully here last year, just when the one of the few weeks he couldn't putt. I've seen him at 100 and 120 to 1. That might be my favorite guy north of 100, but I could bet about two or three of these guys without blinking.
Yeah, Dylan Wu was 220 this morning. I missed out on that. He's now down to 150, 130 in some spots. Like that was another crazy number. Like if you can still find even 150s, some 180s, like I would be all in on Dylan Wu.
Your boy
Brandon
Grayson
Wu,
Sig.
Sig, Lee Hodges has been unbelievable at this golf course. It's been a great Gary Woodland spot. He finally started to show some signs of life at Riviera. There's a lot of fun this week. Like this is one of those weeks where, despite totally striking out for me in Mexico, I'm like, God, I love every single one of
Yeah,
these
that's the
guys.
problem, Andy. That's why I said there's so much. It's not really the most prudent place to overexpose yourself,
No, it's not, because it can go wrong
but it's
so
so fun.
quickly.
And this betting board today, I'm telling you, the way they had it set up, like Rory being that only body under 20, and then they had about three or four guys, like there's about like five guys in front of 40 this morning in some spots. It was just a real fun experience after a losing week, is me inserting more losers.
All right, Geoff. Anyone else you want to throw out here before we get out of here?
No, I feel like I've run the gamut. Like I could happily name more losers, like I don't know. I'm not even gonna do it because then I'll have the peace of mind and feel committed. But Yeah, no, I'm with you on Cam Young. I see myself betting Tom Kim. I see myself being a part of something like Berger and Connors. So I'm ready. Just check out my Twitter feed. I should have it posted by like the middle of the day Tuesday, but I'm ready to give her. Hope I'm responsibly disciplined.
So only bet you've made thus far is Kim at 30.
Well, I've bet Ben Ann, but I don't even know how to discuss that, Andy.
Okay, good. So you got him at 40. That's a great bet.
Yeah, I like, but I don't even in the context of the current number, I would never condone it. I only like I knew I don't even love Ben Ann, but I knew exactly what was going to happen today. So I feel like this smart little day trader of a golf outright, but CLV like in golf is it's just totally worthless, but it feels nice.
Yeah.
I feel a little smart on a Monday,
I
but
bet
yeah,
I bet
that's where I stand right now. But I like too many guys and I got to rein it in. And I swear to you, when I say I could put 6 names on a wheel and spin it and be just as happy with anybody, I almost rather take the decision away. I'm a fence sitter at the moment. I mean that. I'm having a
yeah.
hard time.
Yeah, I bet we talked about it on the show. I bet Sam Stevens last week at 100 to 1 first thing on Monday morning. He closed at like 40. Okay.
That's
And
insane.
yeah, Sam Stevens closed at like 40 to 1. Okay. People were talking about on Wednesday, hey, look, I got this 50 to 1 on Sam Stevens. Okay. We bet him at 100 on Monday. Okay. He missed the cut by
If
like three
someone wants
strokes.
to bet
So
Ben Ann at 20,
it's like CLV in golf is
Andy, if someone wants to bet Ben Ann at 22 to 1, which he's currently on the odds checker grid,
you can
you
get him as high as 28, which I
you
don't
can
think is
message me.
terrible.
You can message me. I'll sell you. I'll let you. I'll stake you that bet, and I'll free roll the extra points that I have from my Monday morning.
There you go. G Fienberg 14 on Twitter.
17. Philip Rivers.
17. That was a
I don't know
guess.
if I'll actually do that, but I hope no one out there actually wants to bet Ben Ann in the mid-20s either.
I knew it was in the mid-teens. Okay. All right, Jeffrey, let's get us out of here, my friend.
Let's do it. For Andy, I'm Geoff. Enjoy another edition of The Drive. Smash that like button, hit subscribe. Will drop right into your box. Check the Twitter feed. My pick should be up almost as this video is going live on, so check it. Now I'm bumbling through the finish. I can't make picks and I can't close a video. We're out.